What's up, everyone? Aaron Nagler here, Cheesehead TV, with some extra cheese for you on Thursday afternoon. Marathon session, assisting coaches. But did want to jump on, say what's up to everybody. What up from St. Louis? What's up? What up from St. Louis? Go Blues. Boston has enough championships. We got hockey talk here on the Cheesehead TV YouTube channel. I love it. Hey, Nags. What's up, Alex? How are you? Nick? Whiskey 61, good to see you, buddy. How you doing? Hello from Tampa. What's up, Timothy? New York says, yo. Chris, hi. Good morning from Guam. Kyle's always checking in from Guam. I like it. Big Gilbert Brown in his prime or Kenny Clark? Oh, I got to go with Big Gilbert Brown. That's just a soft spot in my heart, though. I'm great. Thanks. You're welcome, Alex. Good morning from Canada. Well, I don't know how the time zone thing works there, north of the border, but that's interesting. Nags, what's your thoughts about the Packers OTA so far? No one's been severely injured, and that's a win. I got to echo Sarah on the Pack-A-Day podcast, which was outstanding today, by the way, if you haven't checked it out in its entirety, available at cheeseheadtv.com. But she had the line of the offseason. It's May. That's all I'm going to say. I mean, I get it. We're all starved for football, and these guys, they get on the football field, and we all eat up every morsel that we can. I understand it. But holy cow, the mountains being made out of the molehill of Rashawn Gary getting around David Bakhtiari, or the formations and motions in the red zone, etc. I mean, I get it. I get it. Trust me. I feel it. The thirst. Quenching of the thirst. I get it. It's May, as long as no one gets hurt, I'm happy. I did find it interesting. There are little kernels that I do find interesting, like Raven Green getting that chance with the ones in the kind of enforcer role, the big safety role that Whitehead was in early last year. Like stuff like that, I think is interesting. But most of it, I'm just praying that no one gets hurt. Because you've already seen a couple guys around the league, down in San Francisco, someone was TJ Ward diving for a football, broke his shoulder. It's like that's what you just want to make sure you eliminate. What are your expectations for every position? It's awfully early for that. Let's let them get in pads at least before we start talking expectations. Back from vacation for some Packer talk. What's up, Teabag? Nice name. Clark needs a victory dance like Brown's gravedigger. What do you think it should be? I don't know, man. That's a good question. That's up. I think that's up for a poll. I think we're gonna have to come up with a variety of ideas. Hello from Toronto. It's 4:55 here, so not morning. MVS Burns Savage. See, that's what I'm talking about. It's May. Yes, good. And he's got a year in the league on him. So I hope he's burning him, The one-on-one stuff especially doesn't mean a whole lot to me. And the other thing is like I saw lots of people making hay about the offense scoring on the defense or torching the secondary, etc. Man, at first, it's May. Second of all, you don't know what they're working on. You have no idea what the defense has been told, what the offense has been told, what the position coaches have told them they're looking at, what the drill is designed to do. Who's got the advantage? Man, that's why OTA play-by-play is something you just, for the most part, can ignore. There are things you can glean from it, but for the most part, it can be dismissed. Greetings to the Bermuda Triangle. Now, there's one I believe. Will Savage biting on routes be his biggest Achilles heel? I don't know if I agree with your police work there. Kurt Warner said Rodgers is the fourth best QB coming into this year behind Brady, Breeze, and Mahomes. Thoughts? Travis, he's one of the best to ever do it. He's allowed his opinion. Sounds about right to me. I mean, considering what he looked like last year in certain situations, it's hard to disagree with that. I mean, Mahomes was out of his mind. Breeze and Brady are incredibly efficient. So putting Rodgers at 4 there, it's not crazy to me. Now, does Rodgers probably have the most physical upside out of all those guys? Maybe not over Mahomes, but he's right there with Mahomes as far as what he can do with his arm and do on the run. He's absolutely one of the best in the business. But if a ranking must be made, there's no shame in him being ranked below those three guys. Joseph. Mercedes Lewis with the goal line TD and OTAs. He's a Hall of Famer now, right? OTAs mean everything. I did like Nathaniel Hackett being asked about Mercedes Lewis today and saying that he's a pro's pro and he's been with him a long time and he knows what he can do. Wouldn't confirm that he lobbied to have him return, seeing as he had worked with him before in Jacksonville, but I can bet that was at least discussed. Do you think Russ Ball kind of screwed up with Jared Cook, Micah Hyde, and Hayward, etc.? No, I don't. No. Where Russ Ball screwed up was in player evaluation and deciding not to bring guys back when Ted was getting sick and they needed other people to step up to the plate, as has been reported by Rob Domofsky. When Russ Ball, that we know of, that has been reported, his two major kind of probably big mistakes were allowing Micah Hyde to walk without even engaging in contract talks, and Julius Peppers not being sought after when it was time for him to leave, even though I'm pretty sure that Julius Peppers, and as he has said and has been reported, wanted to go back to Carolina, wanted to finish up where he began. So I don't really hold the Peppers thing against him. The Hyde thing, that's a problem to me. That's where the one big quibble I have. Outside of that, what you're talking about, like Hayward and those guys, that wasn't his call. That's Ted. Those were Ted decisions. And if it comes down to the contracts, we've seen time and time again that man is a wizard when it comes to manipulating the salary cap, working on player contracts to make sure that they never have issues with the salary cap. I posted about it today on gsettv.com. Make sure you check it out. A link to Joel Corey's breakdown of his top 5 best teams when it comes to managing player contracts and the salary cap. The Packers are one of those 5 teams because Russ Ball is really good at his job. Hey, man, look, I understand that there's got to be a villain. And I understand that Russ has gotten a lot of shade from people who, for whatever reason, have got bones to pick with him. Most of the time after they've left the organization and are granted the cover of anonymity. But I think the kind of angling for the dark cape and hat and twirly mustache that has been placed on one said Russ Ball needs to be dialed back just a little bit. The man is really good at what he does and brings tremendous value to the Green Bay Packers and has for a long time. Yeah, the Hyde thing hurts. Yeah, Joseph, it does. That again, that's my one big misgiving and probably misstep when it comes to the decisions that we know of that Russ Ball has made. Love Whitted as a coach, strong vibe. Yeah, Jonathan, I agree. I love him up at the podium. I mean, that obviously doesn't portend anything as far as his coaching ability and what he'll bring to Green Bay. But yes, I'm with you. I enjoy listening to him, love hearing him talk ball. I'm anxious to see what he does with his young Chargers. Word has it, Gmo is primarily practicing in the slot. What do you think of Gmo in the slot and maybe MVS outside? Well, Chris, I've said all along that I thought Gmo would be on the outside. Now he is running on the inside. We'll see if that lasts. Remember, it's so early. I think, who was it? Was it last year or 2 years ago? I'm trying to remember the name of the wide receiver who was running with the ones early on the first week of camp, and everyone was freaking out. And then he didn't even make the team. So, and obviously, I think Geronimo was going to make the team. I'm just saying things can change and will change throughout the entire offseason. So, yes, Geronimo is working primarily in the slot right now, and I know they're talking it up, but that could change very quickly. That said, I love MVS on the outside, on the perimeter, being able to use that speed to stretch the defense and open things up underneath. I'm all for it. Oh, no. Yesterday on my YouTube feed, came across a Fox 11 interview, a Baby Nags and Banky interview before the Chicago game. And you were so stoked you got credentials for being a super blogger. You should post it. Yeah, I remember that. It was cold. It was outside. That was a good time, man. That's, Packers were on the cusp of the Super Bowl, and we were credentialed. I was in the press box, albeit auxiliary press, for the NFC Championship game, and the NFL had credentialed Cheesehead TV. That was a pretty great day. And actually, that was the only time ever in my history that I've had to run outside and leave the press box because I was so excited. Because after BJ Raji's interception for a touchdown, I completely lost my shit. Safety had a 100% overhaul, and it's exciting. When was the last big position overhaul you were excited about, and did it pan out? Running back a couple years ago when they drafted a bunch. I was excited about all those guys, and I think it's turned out pretty darn well. But yes, I agree with you. I think Gutekunst did a very nice job revamping the safety position because God knows it needed it. I enjoy Tramon Williams speaking specifically on what makes Devontae so good. Popeye, yes, that was an excellent quote. I saw it floating around Twitter. The video is up at Packers.com. Make sure you check it out. It was great because you kind of really went into, and he didn't even go that deep, but he did go into some technique stuff that doesn't get talked about a lot on sports radio and Sports Center, whatever, the surface level shows, opinion level shows. That's the kind of stuff that doesn't get aired. I would try to talk to you guys about it, but I won't do it justice. Just go and watch Tramon talking about it. It's on Packers.com. It's really good. Brian Balaga, Iowa. How tall are you, Nags? I get every kind of question on these chats. I love it. I am 6'1". Where should I get tickets? Thomas, you should get tickets at Ticket King. I'm glad you asked. If you go to cheeseheadtv.com, about halfway down the page, you'll see a link to Ticket King. They've been in business since 1992. They're located right across from Lambeau Field. They have all your ticket needs covered for the Green Bay Packers, whether home or away. Ticket King for all your Green Bay Packers ticket needs. I love that I never kind of like organically remember that I'm supposed to say the promo, and then there's always someone here to like save me. Fans get... Oh, no, I'm not even going to read that. Zadarius Smith seems poised to take his game to another level here. Love everything about the guy. Grant, I have been saying that I think he's a big key to what they've done this offseason as far as his versatility. And I thought Huber put up a great tweet this morning when he mentioned that Zadarius stuck around for the entirety of the locker room session yesterday. I can't tell you how rare that is. When guys... when it's media availability, there are plenty of guys who avoid the locker room altogether just so they don't have to deal with the media. There are guys who dip in and dip out, and you ask, hey, can I ask you a few questions? No, man, I'm busy, or I'll catch you next time, whatever. It is a rare, rare day when a guy is there from the moment the locker room opens to the moment the media is kicked out, who sits there and answers questions for 25, 30 minutes. That is a rare thing. So kudos to him for that. Now, maybe that starts changing if he starts getting some bad press. But, hey, I love it. And I am very excited about him in Mike Pettine's defense. I think he is going to be a very important part of what they're going to be doing this year. Thomas, thank you. Oh, boy, this is a trick question, isn't it? Did you play football? Yes. I played quarterback at Roosevelt Junior High School and Appleton West. And before that, Pop Warner. I was a JV quarterback when I retired. But yes, I played quarterback. God help us. There we go. There's the trolling I love so much. Packers will finish 5-11 this year. It's possible. I'm not going to say it's not. Actually, yesterday for my podcast, Naglers Never Right, exclusively available at patreon.com/cheeseheadtv. One of the solicited questions I got for a video chat was about the Packers record. And I tell you what, you can't sit here and say in May that, there's no way they finish 5-11. Of course there's a way they finish 5-11. That's a possibility. I don't think that happens, but you'd be foolish to say it's absolutely impossible. If the Packers do go with a tall receiver like Gmo in the slot, will it cause defenses to adjust? I mean, probably not a ton. But, it's rare that teams have guys travel inside like that if they're going to have a matchup a defensive back. I would think maybe they play a little bit more quote unquote base, depending on obviously what else the Packers are doing on offense. But I would suspect not a lot. Now, it might be dependent from team to team, might be dependent from scheme to scheme as far as what the Packers have put on film prior weeks, but I don't think it'll be that drastic. Scrimmage or practice for family night this year? That's a good question, Russ. That's one that only Matt LaFleur can answer. I would suspect it'll probably be a practice, but we'll see. Maybe, I don't even know what the dates are, but maybe the Texans are in town by then. I'm not sure. We're going to use Devontae the same way the Falcons used Julio during their Super Bowl run. He moved all over the formation and ran a lot of vertical routes from the slot. Patrick, I would be shocked if they didn't run him all over the formation. And I liked what LaFleur had to say about him yesterday, being the leader of that room. I'm not sure anyone can duplicate what Julio does, but I do think Devontae Adams is up to the challenge of doing anything and everything asked of him in this offense. And I do think that you will see him used everywhere, including in the backfield. I think you're going to see him lined up all over the place. Is Raven Green the favorite to make the roster after Josh Jones' request for a trade? I really like his potential. Could you give a brief scouting report on him? Tony, he's bulked up a little bit. And while I don't think he's the liability in coverage that Josh Jones has shown to be. I don't think coverage is his strong suit, but I do think he fits well with what they're reportedly using him, the area they're using him in, which is, you would think, what Josh Jones would have been battling for is that enforcer spot, that third safety spot down in the box. I do think he's suited for it. I'm really anxious to see the pads come on this summer and see him come up and get physical. But I think if there's a role for him, I think that's it. I think last year, very limited amount that we got to see him. He had to play a little bit more center field than they were probably hoping. But I think he's an athlete, and I think he can hit. And I'm hoping we see progression there, and that he kind of balls out this summer and kind of solidifies that spot, because you like the player and you like the tools, and there's a lot of upside there, but you never really know how that's going to gel. 16-0, go Pack, go. There you go, David. EQ or MVS, better sophomore breakout candidate? Christopher, I get this question a lot, and it's probably not going to change my answer until they get on the field week one and the results start to speak for themselves, but I'm going to say MVS. And that is no slight to EQ. I think he has outstanding potential, a really high ceiling, but I think MVS has the potential to be a star in the league. That's just me. Santa, all I want is no injuries for Christmas. Mark, I will make sure that your request is earmarked post haste for the North Pole. Oh no. Oh boy. Let's not get political in the chat here, shall we? That'd be great. Let's see. How many times do you think a team with a new head coach makes it to the Super Bowl in the first year? Not a lot, Tyler. Not a lot. Read today that one of our undrafted free agents, tight end from Duke, I believe, is quitting football from Duke. Not surprised. Oh, damn. Deborah with the Duke slam. I like it. What's Aaron Rodgers' ceiling in this new offense, and what would it look like? Matt Ryan's MVP season. That's probably, I'm not going to say the expectation, but that's what I expect. And I think the ceiling is even higher than that. That's just me. Kevin King, 10 games, over, under. Oscar, over. It's May, baby. Nothing but hope. Nothing but hope. Positivity. Over. Oh, my God. What is this nonsense? Are you ride and die for Weezer? Are you kidding me? Weezer needs to be shot into the sun after that 80s cover album. Good Lord. Jenkins only at guard thus far, with Madison and Patrick Holt rotating at center. Your thoughts on this / mean anything? Well, I did see LaFleur say that Jenkins is concentrating on center. Concentrating on guard. But they have made no bones about the fact that one of the things they liked about Jenkins, and the reason they used a pretty premium pick on the kid, is because of his versatility and his ability all across the line. Now, will they? Do they want him focusing on guard at first? No doubt. I think you saw last year the lack of depth at the interior really came back to hurt them. So they want to make sure that that is bulked up and fortified, if you will. I'm interested to see Cole Madison at center. That's something no one's seen him in the NFL yet, but they need a backup clearly at center. They can't keep counting on Corey Linsley playing every single snap every single year, which he has for the last 2 years. So I'm interested to see how much of that rotation continues into camp, because sometimes they'll do these things in the spring as kind of just taking a look at it, and then they'll decide that they want to try something else, and then they'll get to camp, and then it'll be different. But for the time being, just to see how it plays out. Gary is the best 52 in the league, guarantee. Andy, that's a bold statement. Nags for president. Nobody wants that. Do you think Kumaro or Davis makes the 53? Tough call. I think Kumaro over Davis right now, sitting here in May, but anything is possible. Let's see. Let it play out. I'm disappointed we haven't had an update on Mark Murphy's mom in this chat for a while. Patrick, let me tell you, I'm sure she is sitting back and reveling in the fact that she knew Matt LaFleur was going to be the coach before pretty much every other human being on this planet. So it's pretty impressive. I'd sit up and smoke a stogie and polish my laurels as well. Will Dexter overtake Jamal in the backfield? Timothy? I think there's a decent chance of that happening. Yes. Will Gary be more effective than Cullen Jenkins on the D-line? Woo! Christopher, coming in hot. I think he'll be a little more versatile than Cullen was. Cullen played almost exclusively on the interior, whereas I think Gary will play outside for a lot of early downs and then kick inside for some passing downs. But that's just a guess on my part. We have no idea how Pettin really plans to utilize the kid. But hey, that's a lofty goal, especially his rookie year. I'm not going to sit here and say he's going to come in and light it up like Cullen Jenkins. Still see Aaron Jones as a top 5 yards per carry if not injured. I couldn't agree more. I think he's going to eat in this offense. I really do. How has Gary looked in OTAs? I know it's early. Mike, it's early, but he's looked good. He's looked the part, looked fast, looked strong, but they're in shorts. Doesn't mean a whole lot. Why didn't Hackett get more attention when he was hired? He got Bortles to the playoffs and almost beat the Pats. Tyler, I tell you what, I loved that hire. Loved it. I said it when it happened. He's had a very strong running game wherever he's gone. And as you indicate here, as the offensive coordinator of the Jacksonville Jaguars, he did miracle work with Blake Bortles. And then last year, when injuries and other things happened, and Bortles crashed back down to earth, he was very much the scapegoat. And I really like him as a coach. I like him as a guy. And I think he was a fantastic pickup. I'm with you. I think that was an excellent hire. And I loved listening to him at the podium today. You can tell he's really bought into what Matt LaFleur is trying to do and really trying to facilitate his vision for not only the offense, but for the entire football team. I love having Hackett in the building. Love that hire. Alan Barber looked good in shorts, so I never take this period seriously. Thank you, AJ. That is a perfect summation of OTAs. All right, I'm going to have to jump. Thank you so much for everybody. Thank you so much, everybody. I'm sorry if I couldn't get to your questions, but it's amazing. There are 256 people here right now. That's insanity to me on a Thursday afternoon in May, late May, almost June. But we're all Packers fans. We're all insane about the team. That's why I love hanging out with you guys. Thank you so much. Please do check out Patreon if you could. If you can support what we do, $5 a month does support everything we do at Cheesehead TV and gets you access to my exclusive podcast, Naglers Never Right. The latest episode just dropped last night, so make sure you check that out. And hey, like, subscribe, share, tell your friends, tell your family. And if you do need tickets to a Green Bay Packers game, please check out Ticket King via cheeseheadtv.com. They've been around since 1992. They know the business better than anybody. They've got you covered home, away, whatever the case. When it comes to the Green Bay Packers, Ticket King, what you need. Thanks a lot, everybody. Have a good night.